Hey, what's up guys? Floyd here, back with another video. And today I am actually introducing what is hopefully going to be a new series on the channel, which is my audiophile journey. In the last video in my channel update, I kind of introduced the idea that, I wanted to share my experience with like audiophile and like audio gear as a hobby. And now I'm going to start this series and I'm going to be talking about basically not just my journey in the audiophile stuff, but more specifically, my plan is I'm going to go through all the different devices I have. I'm going to take time starting from like the very low end, and I'm going to spend, a week or two with each device and go back and experience that item again, and then share that experience with you guys and like what it's like. And I think it's a really cool concept because one thing that I've learned with audio gear is, people are trying to reach like these higher and higher levels. They're trying to reach like this unattainable summit. They're trying to reach some type of peak that is not really possible with the technology we have today. And it's always nice to go back and see, where you started off and look at, oh, I had it like way better off now than I did back before, and it also kind of refreshes, the way you interpret even the good stuff that you have, because what happens is like you kind of get stagnant with like the same item over and over. It's almost like, you buy a brand new car and you love it, for like the first like month or like even like the first year you have it, and then after a while it's not brand new anymore. It's just your car, And it's kind of like the same idea. Or like you start playing a new game and like it's the best game ever for like the first week you play it, and then it just gets, I guess you could say, like boring over time. You forget, why you fell in love with that item. And the same thing happens in this hobby. So yeah, basically the idea is I'm taking all of my devices. I'm going to start at the very low end, and I'm going to be moving my way up, and every single item, I'm going to have a video dedicated to it, describing my experience with it after, I've reached as far as I've reached so far. And what I'm going to do in this video right now actually is I'm going to introduce each of those items and kind of do a little bit of description, just like differentiating, what the differences are in these different devices. So the first thing I have is actually these Apple earbuds, right? Everyone knows about these earbuds, right? They're the earbuds that you used to get for free with every single phone, and they are earbuds. They're free earbuds. Almost everyone that's on an iPhone has had a pair of those earbuds before, but they're just earbuds. And this is like where the big difference is. This is my only pair of earbuds, but there's also what's known as IEMs, or in-ear monitors, which look like this, right? Well, these are bullet style IEMs because they're shaped like a bullet, but the difference is they have tips, right, that insert into your ear canal, and that results in a better seal. Well, with earbuds, you normally have no seal, so it results in a seal, and that seal leads to a more just consistent sound. Like, because of the nature of like how earbuds work, they're just sitting in your ear, they're not actually entering your ear and forming any type of seal. The sound can change depending on how you position it and stuff, and that can happen with IEMs too a little bit, but it's way more consistent because you have that seal. And then also with earbuds, one thing is you normally don't have a lot of bass, because that bass is escaping out of your ear and going out the other way when it should be going into your ear, with that seal, when it's inserted into your actual ear canal, it makes that seal, and then that seal is what makes the bass extend farther, and it makes it more impactful and stuff like that. So this first set that I showed you is actually my first set of IEMs that I ever got. They're the Moondrop Quarks, and they're just little tiny bullet style IEMs. They were like 10 bucks, I think I got them for, and they're the first pair of IEMs that I actually ordered and got. And I didn't start off with IEMs. I started off with headphones actually when I got into the audiophile hobby, because it was way more accessible, I guess. Like when I was looking into like audiophile stuff, like everything was about headphones, and then more recently I've discovered the IEM stuff. Um, but yeah, that was the first pair of IEMs I ever got, and they're like $10 IEMs. Moondrop is actually like a really big IEM brand. It's probably, I want to say, like the biggest IEM brand. Like anyone that's like in the audiophile community that's into IEMs knows about Moondrop. The next pair that I have is also a pretty big brand, but they're also a bullet style IEM, which is the Tonstrom Tanya, and they're bullet style just like that, and they're pretty similar to the Quarks, but they're a bit bassier. I remember when I first listened to them, I liked them a lot, but those were like the second pair that I ever got. And next after that, I ended up getting these, which are the Final Audio E500s, which are also bullet style. So far we've only seen bullet style IEMs that I've shown you. What's funny about these is a lot of people in the audiophile community actually suggest buying these, not because they're good, but because they have like these super good tips that Final Audio makes. They're called the Type E tips. Like obviously it's E500, they're the Type E, and they say, you know, you're supposed to buy them $20 for tips and then you get a free IEM, is the joke. But they're still pretty decent, even though most people don't buy them for the IEMs, they buy them for the actual ear tips. I have another pair of IEMs that are coming that are kind of in that price range, so those are like $20. The Tanyas are like between $10 and $20. And I have another pair of IEMs that are hopefully coming later in March that are the CCA CRAs, and they're actually like probably, I got mine for like 11 bucks, but probably like $15, and they're supposed to be super good for $15, and they're what's considered like a pseudo custom. So those are obviously bullet style, and then the pseudo customs are more molded, and they actually sit in your concha bowl. They still have a tip obviously, but they have like a more like conforming shape than just like something that you shove right into your ear canal, you know. And speaking of pseudo custom, this is actually like my most expensive pair of IEMs, I would say, which is the 7 Hertz Timeless. And these are pretty notorious in the audiophile community. They're planar, which I'll describe more about like drivers and stuff in another video. I'm not like any type of like driver expert, but I have like grown very fond of planar drivers and headphones, and also obviously in my IEMs, because these are like $200 headphones, and I love these honestly. These are my favorite IEMs that I own. They're not the ones that get used the most. The ones I actually use the most are my AirPods Pros, which I will also do a video on. I'll probably do the AirPods Pros before I do these. But I actually have, if you look on here, these are the same tips that came with the E500s, and I actually put them on the Timeless because they're that comfy. But these are like, obviously, it's kind of like abrasive, like I guess you could say abrasive, the way they look, because they look like a coin kind of, but I kind of like them. I always said to my friends that I'm gonna take some stickers, I'm gonna put them on the face because it's so big, like little cat stickers or something. But yeah, these are like the first pair I'm showing you guys that kind of have like that molded look. That's what I'm saying. Like obviously the other ones look like bullets. These ones are like that pseudo custom, like they sit in your concha bowl in this part of your ear right here, and normally you get a better fit, a better seal with them. But yeah, those are gonna round up the IEMs that I'm gonna be talking about in this series. And then I'm also gonna do my headphones that I own. I don't really own any like cool expensive speakers yet. Hopefully soon, once I move. I'm gonna be moving in a couple months, but for right now, all I have for like speakers are like little Bluetooth speakers like this, like waterproof things that I take out like kayaking and stuff. But yeah, that's all the IEMs. Next up, we have the headphones. I got 3 pairs of audiophile headphones. And really, headphones is what I got my start with. And the audiophile stuff is the first pair of headphones I ever got were these right here, which are the Hi-Fi Man 400i 2020s. And I actually, like, this is a custom grill that I made, and you can see in there, that's actually a planar driver. That's what it looks like. It's like got this array of magnets that, you know, that's what makes the diaphragm move. That's what makes the sound, which I think is pretty cool. That now with these custom grills I put on there, you can actually see in there and see the magnets. But yeah, I'll talk about drivers more in another video. Probably when I get to like the timeless, I'll talk about the drivers more. Really, when it comes down to like different drivers and headphones and IEMs, it doesn't matter. You're not supposed to buy items for what drivers in them. You're supposed to buy them for how good they are, is what it comes down to. And there's good planars, and then there's good dynamic drivers. All the bullet style IEMs that I showed you are all dynamic drivers. You know, these earbuds are probably dynamic driver. Don't quote me on that, but they probably are. The next pair of headphones I have are the Sennheiser 599. This is the SE, which I think stands for Special Edition. And I think the only thing that makes it Special Edition is they're black and silver. I think the original pair is like this brown and tan color, and I was not going to buy any brown headphones. But yeah, these are Sennheiser 599s, and I got these after I got the 400Is, and when I first started using them, I liked them. But over time, I realized I did not like them nearly as much as I like my 400Is. And there's a bunch of reasons for that, but there's nothing like wrong with them. It's just, it's not really my deal. I don't really like them that much. So yeah, I got these. I think they retail like 200. The 400Is retail like around 140, something like that. But I didn't pay 200 for these. I got them on sale, and I'm glad I didn't pay retail for these, because obviously I don't like them that much. But yeah, those are the 599s. There'll be a video about those. And then the last thing I have is these. These are the Sennheiser HD600s, and these are the old version that have like this marble countertop finish. So they still make these. This is like a super old pair that obviously, like I said, this is like marble countertop looking. The newer pairs are like just straight black, and they still have like this teal that says HD600. But these are like the most legendary like headphones in the audiophile community. Anyone that's like an audiophile knows about these headphones, and basically anybody, even like outside of the audiophile community, probably knows about Sennheiser. Sennheiser is just like a huge audio brand, not only for audiophiles, but for, you know, musicians and stuff, and for just the mainstream, because they make like true wireless stuff that like a lot of mainstream people know. It feels kind of like snobby to say, you know, like mainstream and audiophile, but it's a big difference. Like, I don't know, the difference in sound quality is kind of weird, because like I said before in the last video, I think it's crazy so many people love music, and you know, they don't think like, oh, what's the best headphones I can get, and the farthest they get is like some Beats. You know, not to say that Beats are inherently bad, but for like the audiophile community, it's kind of a joke, because it's like all bass, stuff like that. If you use Beats, you know, nothing against you, it's just, it's not my thing. But yeah, those are all my headphones, all my IEMs and stuff that I have. And like I said, every single one, I'm probably going to spend like a week or two. And then after a week or two using it, I'm going to upload a video, and I'm going to give like my new impressions of it, you know, because now I built my way all the way up. You know, I've got $200 IEMs. I've got, you know, these HD600s are like, if you bought them retail, the newer pairs, they're like $300 or something like that. So, and that's not even like, that's barely scratching the surface of the audiophile stuff. There's stuff that's like ridiculously expensive, like it's like tens of thousands of dollars. I think the most expensive headphones that are out right now are like $20,000 or something like that. They're made by Sennheiser too, and they're like the best of the best. But you know, I'm not spending $20,000 on no headphones, not yet at least. When I'm you know, money bags McGee, I'm gonna get some HE1s is what they're called. But yeah, that's all my stuff. I'm probably gonna do a video on every single one, you know, talking about them, and I might do like some little sub videos in the series where I talk about stuff like my amplifiers and stuff, and you know, just like what I'm using to listen to the audio, you know, or what I'm using to listen to music. I might talk about like tips and stuff a little bit, or maybe it'll be within, you know, the videos about the IEMs. But there's like a lot of like nuance and stuff in this hobby, which I think is what's really cool, because it's not even about, you know, everyone should get this one IEM. You know, it's about finding what you like and then finding a sound that fits you. You know, some people don't like bass at all, which is, you know, kind of weird to think about. Like a lot of people think, oh yeah, bass is, you know, super good, you know, they want that bump in bass. But in the audiophile community, there's people that don't like bass at all. They want, you know, a nice like minimal bass that isn't like flooding the track, isn't like distracting from the other things in the music, you know. And I just think it's a cool concept, and hopefully you guys like it. If you're watching right now and you're subscribed, thank you. If you're not subscribed, you know, press that button down there. It's free. Press like, dislike, you know, leave a comment, say anything you want. You know, I appreciate any interaction I can get on here. But yeah, that wraps it up for this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.